ladies, and happy early St. Patrick's Day. Today we have something why do I keep saying we? I have something to share that I haven't done in a very long time, which is the whole reason I started doing this channel, and I kind of miss it, doing actual book reviews, just individual book reviews. So today we're going to talk about, there I go again, I'm going to share this amazing cozy mystery series that honestly is one of the best things I've read in a while. I ended up binge reading books 2 through 5 within like a week, and it was just a good time. Super amazing. So let's go ahead and get into the review. So we're going to look at The Kitten Files by Perry Elizabeth Kirkpatrick. If you've been around the channel for a while, you may remember that name. I also reviewed her book Red Rover, which I need to finish reviewing that series. It's amazing. The Accidental Cases of Emily Abbott. Super addicting and just a good time. Really fun. But this particular series, there are 5 books, I believe. Well, there are 6 books if you're including the prequel. And to give you a gist of the overall series, it follows a cat named Mia, and she was in a part of a lab experiment, and so she can read and write. She also loves mysteries. So already, for me, that's a seller. I love cats, and it can read and write and loves mysteries. And the series basically follows as Mia escapes from the lab and how she comes to live with a detective named Keith, and just some of the cases they work on and everything. And I've got to say, it's just the definition of a cozy mystery. Everything about it. There's plenty of humorous dialogue, and Keith and Mia just make an excellent team, and it's just so fun. And the mysteries themselves are really enjoyable. Nothing too crazy or, you know, like hard to follow. They're just, you know, straightforward, and they're very wholesome and sweet. First book of the series, 0.5, The Great Lab Escape, and that's just how Mia escapes and everything. Obviously, I keep this spoiler free, so I don't want to get into all of it. But it's like her origin story, her beginning, and just introducing you to the character. It's permanently free on Amazon, I believe. I don't know if that'll change in the future, but like for right now, it is free to download just to give you like an intro to the series. And I am giving that 4 out of 5 stars. I did actually read that last year in June, so I mean that was a bit ago, but it was really enjoyable, and it was just like a fun, like I said, a really fun intro, and it got me hooked on the series. And then moving on to the second book is The Case of the Tabloid Tattler, and this is actually Mia and Keith's very first case together. It was a relaxing, really fun time. I did give it 4 out of 5 stars. I read it last July, so I mean, like, I don't know, I may go back and have to up the rating to 5 stars. But it was just really enjoyable, and it also, I'm reading over my old review, and apparently it got me out of a reading slump, which I forgot about, so that's always huge. The next installment is The Case of the Missing Hero, which follows, again, their next case, and this actually takes place out in the country. Keith goes to visit family, and I really enjoy the laid-back country setting. It's fun. It was really good. And this one is about a dog that goes missing, and so Mia and Keith kind of have to, you know, figure out what happened. So again, it was really fun, and this was the book that I got back into the series because I loved books 1 and 2, well, 1 and 0.5 so much. It had been a while since I read it, and I'm like, you know, let's just get back into the series. And I'm so glad I did, because it was just a really good time, and I did give that 5 out of 5 stars. And then we have The Case of the Serial Robber. This one was really interesting, and it had a unique mystery to it, and stakes have risen in this book, and I was there for it. Nothing crazy. None of these books are violent, actually. Not a speck of violence, and it led up to a really, really good climax, I guess, for the whole series. So that was wonderful. I did give it 5 out of 5 stars, and I did read that in one night. It was that good. Couldn't put it down. As you go through the series, each book gets better and better, and so I was just like, okay, I'm ready for the next one to be wowed by that, and I was not disappointed by any of them. The next one, and this is my absolute favorite, the pinnacle of the whole series. It is The Case of the Very Bad Cat. It takes place during Christmas, which is already a seller for me. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars. If I could have given it more than 5, I would have. Perry is actually a Christian author, and this, if I remember right, this is the first book that actually has some Christian elements, mentioning God, which actually she refers to it as the maker of Cats, I believe. So it did have some Christian elements, which was really cool. I did like that. And Spitz, it was so wholesome, so sweet, and oh my goodness, it was just endearing and very meaningful, and my favorite, the best. So if you read this series, make sure you do not pass this one up because it was amazing. I honestly had no idea how book 5 could top that last one because it was so good, but The Case of the Invisible Thief was really good as well, and it had such a bittersweet ending because as I read, I got to know Keith and Mia, and I love their relationship, and then come to the end and it's like I'm so sad to see it end because I feel like this series could have kept going on and on and on, but I get that it has to end somewhere, I guess. I mean, if it has to. If there's one thing I didn't like about this book in particular, it's that the mystery was very predictable. Like, I knew from the start, I kind of had it figured out who actually the culprit was in this from like the start, because it was like, oh well, you know, that's kind of pointed out there, sort of obvious, but it was still really enjoyable, a great cozy read. And I like that all these books are short. I think the longest one is like 100 pages, I think, but they're usually like 70-80 pages, so they're quick and easy to get through, and they're addicting to read because they're just so fun. So I highly recommend this for young readers, for adult readers, anyone really, because they're super clean, they're wholesome, there's no language, there's no violence, there's nothing you have to worry about. Honestly, I don't think there's any content warnings, which is awesome. So it's perfect for all readers, cat lovers, non-cat lovers. If you like cozy mysteries, definitely give this a go. Unexpected friendships, so I do highly recommend this series. And reminder, the prequel, the 0.5, is free on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's perma-free, I think, like constantly free. So check that out. I do have the links for all the books down in the description if you are interested and want to check it out. I've also got Perry's website and the link to her newsletter. And just FYI, you subscribe to her newsletter, you do get a free copy of Red Rover, book 1 of the Accidental Case of Emily Abbott, which is also free on Amazon. So you definitely do want to check those out. She is a very talented author. I think she especially does well with dialogue and characters. I think those are definitely her strengths. It's just creating lovable and quirky and just really fun characters. That will conclude things. I hope you enjoyed this little mini review series, which I had fun doing this. I haven't reviewed a book on here in a while, which I need to start doing again. And so I really had fun. Hopefully this will be the last video that I record at our old apartments, because it's kind of weird having in between. It's weird. But I just recently finished this series, and while it was fresh, I wanted to leave my reviews. So I hope you enjoyed this and got a book recommendation out of it. Highly recommend checking it out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a fun St. Patrick's Day to come. So until next time, happy reading!